Hello, teacher. Good evening.
Hello, John. Good evening.
Teacher, I yesterday I finally couldn't do the writing task because, as you already know, I hurt my hand, and well, today I got my hand bandaged, and I cannot type at all.
Oh my God.
Yes, teacher. So as soon as as soon as I'm able to write, so I'm going to do the activity, right? So just to
Okay.
let you know.
Okay, John. Thank you.
You're
Get
welcome.
better.
Thank you.
Uh, Teacher, hi.
Hi, Alejandra.
I have a question.
Mm.
I have to send you the activity that you do. Bueno, you do in session 3 because I didn't have electricity in my home. But when I look for the session 3 in Google Drive,
I
uh,
haven't uploaded it.
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Alejandra. Yes,
uh,
you're right.
I wanna do it today, but I can't.
I couldn't. Yeah, sorry. No, today was a crazy day. I totally forgot it. Well, when that happens, unfortunately, that shouldn't happen, but that happens. Send me an email like reminding me, like, remember that you were, well, teacher, I can't find the material. So then I remember that I have to upload it. I usually try to do it when we finish the session, but well, of course, it's quite late and I completely forgot. Sorry, Alejandra. But yes, of course, I'm going to keep let's say the documents open because some of you haven't attended and you have, let's say, like the support, the evidence, the reason why you couldn't attend the session. So it is not like realistic to close the activities when there is the opportunity to do them. Of course, the idea that hopefully we do them while the classes are advancing, but like in your case, well, there are things that we just can't control. And the conclusion is, I hope when we finish tonight's session, I'm going to upload yesterday's and today's as well. Well, guys, today we officially begin Unit 7. We will be talking about vocabulary, and it's a language focus one. As you already know, there are some aspects that tend to be, let's say, more present during the development of the sessions. Today, we will talk about one grammatical component, but of course, as usual, we will try to combine with other elements as much as possible. Also, besides, the content that we are going to cover tonight, we also have to start thinking about the speaking exam. Remember, guys, that next Friday, we will have our final exam. You know that on the first part of the session is going to be the written part. And on the second part of the session, we will have the speaking part. The idea is that, once again, you decide the person you will be working with. I repeat it, and I will repeat it in the case that we, let's say, meet again in future courses. The grade is individual because I know that in some cases you prefer to work alone, or maybe you don't feel that comfortable working with people that you don't really know, and that's, let's say, okay. But at the end of the day, the idea is to communicate and to collaborate with each other. So it doesn't matter if you don't really know the other person. The grade is individual. Is more like in terms of the communicative part that has to happen during the speaking. Well, I don't want to give more information about that, but tonight that is going to be one of the things to do. You decide if you want to work with the same people that you work with in cycle 1, or maybe you want to, let's say, experiment and try working with a different person. That is perfect. And for the new students, well, I'm going to, let's say, expand a little bit, but the idea, like as a conclusion, is to define the groups. And then next week, I will also share with you what the situations will be about. But John, let's keep like as a pending idea. Let's put like a pin on it, and then at the end of the session, we would let's say, decide who will be working with.
I'm
Okay?
sorry, teacher.
No,
Okay.
don't worry, and that's okay, but let's keep that idea in mind. Okay, guys, before we start, as usual, I'm going to take attendance. I guess that most of you are already here, so we can start, let's say, officially
Teacher,
our
sorry.
unit.
Sorry,
Yes.
interrupt you. The exam is the next 27th,
Yes, Friday the 27th.
and the project is 26. Yes?
Yes, remember that the project, it's, let's say, only to send part of the visual support that you will be using on B1.5. So during these 4 cycles, it is just advancing on the material that you will be using. And then on the final cycle of B1, it is going to be the presentation. So, well, just for, I like to clarify that part, do not worry. It's not like you have to make a presentation next Wednesday. No, that is not the idea yet. Okay.
Teacher, and the Moodle, we have to do what unit? O sea, eso como módulo.
Well,
What?
Daniela, for the moment, I guess that is going to be one of the discussions on a meeting that we will have next week, because for the moment, it is supposed that you cover all the units. If there is any change, we will let you know, but let's continue advancing on the development of the activities in the virtual campus from 5 to 8.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Daniela, welcome.
Teacher,
Yes.
another question.
Mhm.
The second project advance sends to you or Laura?
Laura.
Email or email. Yeah.
Laura's email.
Okay.
Yeah, probably she will give you more like details on how it is going to be done, but she's the one in charge of, let's say, assessing that part.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, Lisa, welcome. Well, guys, let's take attendance. Andres Alvarez.
Present.
Okay. Joely Ayala.
Present.
Welcome back, Joely.
Thank you, Prof.
Andrea Vaca.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Gilbert.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. John. No.
Here I am.
Okay. Ask. Brian.
Hello, teacher.
Okay, hello. Stephanie Córdoba.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Silvia Alejandra.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Judy Lisette.
Present.
Okay, Judy. Diana Lisette.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Luisa Fernanda.
Present, teacher.
Very good. Perdón, Luisa Fernanda Paredes. Ay, rayos.
Present, teacher.
Sí, sí, eres listo, perfecto. Luisa Fernanda Pérez.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Jordan Alexis.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Mayra Juliet.
Present, teacher.
Ok. Mayra Alejandra.
Plata.
Sí, porque bueno, Mayra es Mayra Juliet. Entonces aquí sí no me pasa como con las Luisas. Entonces sí, Mayra Alejandra Plata.
Present.
Ok. Alejandra Roballo.
Present.
Good. Harold David.
Hi, teacher.
Ok. Angélica Stephanie.
Present, teacher.
Okay. That's okay. Daniela Fernanda.
Hi, teacher.
Hello, Daniela. Ana María.
Present.
Ok. Ahora estaba lejos. Jennifer Jimena.
Here, teacher.
Ok. Natalie Joana.
Here, teacher.
Very good. And Christian Joseph.
Right here.
Okay, Kirsten, very good. Well, guys, well, actually, it is a good thing that all of you are here, precisely because of the speaking part that we have to, let's say, adjust. But you know that the exam is going to be next week, but my intention or my purpose is to be hopefully as organized as possible. So we already know, like from the very beginning, the person or the people, I think we will, in some cases, we will be working in groups of 3 that you will be working with. And then also next week, I'm going to share with you the part that it is collaboratively. One part is individual and the other part is group work, but let's wait a little bit. Well, guys, I was telling you that today we officially begin Unit 7 and aspects that we will study on Unit 7. We are talking about grammar, ED and ING adjectives, which is the topic that we will be studying tonight. We're talking about passive voice, but that is for next class. In terms of vocabulary, we will be talking about entertainment and television and extreme adjectives. Task, talk about a show you love or hate. So, to start this part of the session, let me adjust one thing first. There it is. As you notice, the beginning is about TV shows in particular. So I'm going to ask you the first questions that we have in here, this first, but we're going to do it through a Mentimeter so I can get more information from you. This is the slide that contains the question, and it says, what are your favorite TV and radio programs? Well, I don't know how fan of radio programs you are. Maybe you are like a lot, but not many. And what you're going to do is to select among all these possibilities the type of TV shows or radio programs that you like. Which are the examples that we have in here? Cookery programs, documentaries, reality shows, sports programs, travel news, soap operas, nature programs, weather forecasts, drama series, murder mysteries, talent shows, and quiz shows. This link that I sent, let me also present it in this way, is going to show you like this. You can show as many as you want. If you like all of them, you choose all of them. If you only like one of them, well, only one of them. When you select all the different programs or TV shows or radio shows that you like, then you click on submit. Of course, the idea that we make it a little bit anonymous, you know, and then after most of you answer, I really hope that the 23 of you answer the question, or choose the answer actually. Let's have a look at some examples. So while you choose, think of the name of some TV shows or radio programs, even podcasts, why not, that are about the topics that we have in here. I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to decide, although there are already 15, but as I was telling you, let's think of TV shows, like names of TV shows for the categories that you chose some seconds ago. 2 minutes for you to think about those names, starting now. We already have the 23 answers. We still have 2 minutes left. Remember that in these minutes, what you're doing is thinking about names of TV shows from the different categories that you chose in here. In case that the name is in Spanish, well, the idea that then you tell me what the show is about in English. Or if the TV show has the name also in English, let's share the name in English. Less than 1 minute and we check. Okay. Well, let's see the tendency in here. We can say that somehow drama series would be like the winner. Why not? Then on second place, we have documentaries. And on third place, we have cookery programs. That's interesting. Well, guys, I'm going to ask 5 of you, based on your opinion, of course, the ones that you chose, examples of TV programs or radio programs. Why not? Let's start with Luisa Perez. Which ones did you choose?
I chose cookery programs, murder mysteries, and drama series.
Okay, and what examples of cookery programs do you have or the shows that you watch?
And I don't know, like Cake Boss.
Okay. That one is, let's say that one would be like the favorite one from that category, right? Lisa?
Yes, teacher. And
Okay.
drama series, I like Peaky Blinders.
Mm-hmm.
And murder mysteries, I don't know, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Let me ask Harold, which ones did you choose from this list?
Teacher, I choose talent shows.
Okay. For example?
Teacher, I like, I love The Boys.
Okay. What?
I really like that show.
Okay.
On something related with singing.
With what?
With singing.
Singing.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, The Voice is like the perfect example for that one, right? Did you choose any other type of TV show or radio program?
X Factor could be another one.
No, but a different category besides
Okay.
that one.
I choose murder mysteries.
Okay, what about that one? Any example in particular?
Teacher, I would like to see in right now I don't have a example, but I like cualquier historia.
Any story?
Any story and that is related to murder mysteries.
Okay, Harold, thank you very much. Let me ask you, Lisette. Which ones did you choose?
I choose murder mysteries.
Okay.
I like Criminal Minds, NCIS, CSI. All of these programs.
Okay, all the CSI combinations. Miami, New York,
Yeah,
Chicago.
Hawaii.
Okay. Okay. And any other category?
My favorite is
Okay.
Criminal Minds.
Okay, very good. Any other category?
Sport programs.
Okay, which one? Or which ones?
I really don't have the name of a special program of this category, but I love to watch football, tennis, volleyball, basket. That's it.
Okay, Judith, thank you very much. 2 more, Joely, what about you?
Cookery programs and talent shows.
You said cookery?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and which one do you like?
I forget the name. MasterChef, like.
Okay, yeah, why not? It's kind of entertainment.
The other one, I don't remember the name right now. But one that is on Netflix about cakes. I don't know,
Okay.
but I like.
Okay, that's it, Jody. And one more, Natalie. What about you? Which ones did you choose?
Teacher, I choose
You
drama.
chose.
I chose
Mhm.
a drama series like The Crown
Okay.
and cookery programs like
Mhm.
K-Boss, Randy. I can't remember the last name of him, but and natural programs like Animal Planet, the most dangerous animals. It's my favorite.
Okay, interesting, Natalie. Thank you very much. Well, guys, we're going to move to the next part. We continue talking about, let's say, TV shows, and I hope that on the next part I can ask the opinion for the ones that couldn't, well, I didn't ask on this first part. We're going to divide the activity into like 3 moments. That is going to be like think per share. It says first read the statements individually. When I'm talking about the statements, I'm talking about these ones that we have in here. It says, there are too many programs like this, so think of those programs that in your opinion are like too repetitive. It says phone-ins, in this case talking about, let's say, radio shows. As you know, there are some radio stations that they have contests where people call, you know, and probably for this person using it as an example, there were too many programs of that. Of course, we're talking about television or maybe also radio if you want to include it as well. The second one says, there aren't enough programs like this. So think about programs that in your opinion are not that many, and actually they should be broadcasted a little bit more. The third one says, we don't have programs like this. So now think about those TV shows or the type of programs that we don't really have, that they don't exist, let's say on, I don't know, I would say like the system, why not? So there are too many programs. Think of those shows that are way too repetitive or that they are too repeated, actually. The second, there aren't enough programs. Those programs that you consider are somehow good or relevant or necessary exist, but not that many. And finally, the programs that we don't really have. That is going to be the first part that you're going to do individually. Besides that part, I want you to think of this question. How would you like to change TV and or radio in your country? So to analyze these 3, let's say, prompts, and to answer this question, first is going to be done in an individual way. I'm going to give you 5 minutes because I want you to take some notes. Probably if you want to type, that would be better. After that, I'm going to send you to breakout rooms. I am going to tell you like instruction in the moment, but I will repeat it, of course, when the moment comes. The idea on the breakout rooms is that you are going to share, you know, your opinions. Let's say that you're going to put together all the information. And then when we come back, you're going to share a screen, you know, with the opinions that you collected among your participants in the group. So first is going to be individual. Remember, think about TV shows for these 3 situations. Also think about the answer of this question. How would you like to change TV or radio in your country? That is going to be part 1. That is going to take 5 minutes. Individual, and let's say that quietly. Do you have any question about the first part of this instruction?
Yes, teacher. What is phone-ins?
Phone-ins is where, let's say, radio shows that people call to participate on the program that they are presenting. For example, usually during Christmas session, radio shows have this kind of contest of aguinaldos that people call that they can't say yes, otherwise they lose, right? So people keep calling. So probably someone says, okay, radios have too many phone-ins. People like calling, participating and calling, telling a story, calling, answering questions, and then it gets disrupted because, well, you can't like listen to the music that the radio station is supposed to, you know, to present, things like that. Yes, Angelica, or did I confuse you?
No, thank you. It's clear.
And for example, we can say we don't have programs like this English program, for example.
For example.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a little bit more specific. Like for
No,
example,
I can't.
entertainment or drama or something. Or if you want to talk about general, it would be okay. Yeah, but if you want to specify, better.
Okay, sure thing.
Okay. Well, guys, remember that you take some notes because then you are going to share with your classmates. I'm not going to interrupt you anymore. Of course, this slide is going to be presented. Remember, this part is individual. 5 minutes starting now.
Sorry, teacher.
Tell me.
So the thing is that I'm not in a room.
Nobody is. For the moment, the idea is for you to answer the question like for yourself individually. And then when time's up in 2 minutes, I will send you to the rooms. But for the moment, the idea is that you answer the questions, let's say for yourself. Okay?
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Welcome. You have your information, you have your answers. Now what we are going to do is to go to breakout rooms where we are going to share the information. What is going to be the intention, or like what I want to see from this? They're going to be together, they will be working in groups. You're going to share your answers. Let me make the adjustment of sharing a screen, like everybody can share a screen and stuff, so you don't have a problem. Ahí está, listo. What is going to be the idea? That as a group, you're going to summarize the answers. Then when we get back, I'm going to ask from your groups, you're going to decide which is going to be the selected person. And guys, you are going to share a screen and you're going to show the final conclusions of the information that you collected. So make sure that it is not only to speak, no. I want to see what you wrote, how you summarize the information that you collected from these answers. That means that, of course, one person is going to be in charge of typing. In your group, you decide also who is going to be in charge of presenting. Not like one person typing and then one person presenting. That wouldn't be fair. That is a decision that I, let's say, ask you to make in your groups. So remember, guys, the idea is to put together the answers, the information that you collected, to summarize it. And then when we get back, you're going to share your screen in order to see how you put all those things together. Guys, do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Very good. We have groups of 4 people. In some cases, there are, okay, no. Let me ask, let me rearrange. Uno, dos, tres. Yeah. Well, guys, you're going to be working in groups of 4 people, so make sure that everybody chips in, that everybody participates, and the idea is to be as organized as possible. Guys, when you are already on your groups, I'm going to send you the first message. You're going to have 12 minutes. That's a good amount of time, so be precise. In case that you need or that you have any question, call me, and then I would go to your group, okay? Well, guys, let's begin. Let's go to the breakout rooms.
Yes, teacher, sorry.
I wanted to know maybe you had problems or something.
No, I'm going to the room.
Okay, thank you. Well, guys, welcome back. I hope that these few minutes were enough and more than enough, like it was like an enriching activity for all of you, especially because of the fact that you had to put all the information together to summarize it in order to now share it with all of us. I'm going to stop sharing my screen because remember that one of the instructions that I gave you was for you to, in a moment, share your screen and show with all of us or to share with all of us, first of all, how you summarize, well, how no, the summary of the answers. And I am really interested on seeing like somehow the conclusion that you got for that final question. So, well, I'm going to start with group number 3. We have Brian, Diana, Harold, and Mayra. Who's going to be in charge of sharing the screen and sharing the information?
Yes, teacher, I'm going to share the screen.
Hi,
Uh,
Hello.
we decide that we want to talk all together.
Okay, great.
Okay.
can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Well, for the first question, there are too many programs like this. We choose for like soap opera, narco series, talent shows, and reality shows.
Okay.
For the next one, there are no program like this. Game shows and nature programs because we all occurred that when we were younger, we used to watch game shows like I forget it. But it was like ¿Quién quiere ser millonario? Or
Okay.
programs like that. And nature programs that we are not able to watch again on TV.
Nature. Okay.
Nature programs.
Okay.
Teacher, about the next one, and we think that we don't have programs like or trying to promote information about high quality education for children. And also we think that they aren't programs who try to promote the health, and also we can find out that there aren't a program what talk about history and geographic about our country, Colombia.
We think that it's important and could be amazing that people can watch on the TV programs about language learning. Could be English or French. And finally, the health TV programs, including emotional health.
And for the conclusion, how would you like to change in TV and radio in your country? We would like to change the tabloid news. Tabloid is like amarillistas. And the programs that only shows the bad side of our country, like narco series and violence series. And also we would like to see new content because in the last years, all the channel repeats the same soap operas.
Yeah, that has been a sad tendency, you know, like they have to, let's say, present over and over again programs from like 20 or even 30 years ago. Okay, guys, very good. Just one thing in terms of writing, the tabloid and news and the programs that only show.
Okay.
In that case, we need the verb and the last line because the last year, all the channels. All is plural and then repeat.
Repeat.
¿Por qué no le gusta la S? Why is not accepting the yes? Okay, thank you very much. Group number 3, interesting topic. talking about the ones that are way too repetitive, especially the narco series, no? Unfortunately, that is part of what is sold these days. Let's continue. We are going to listen now to group number 5. We have Alejandra, Jennifer, John, and Judy. So who's going to share screen?
Me, teacher, Jennifer.
Very good.
So in the first part, we agree that there are too many programs like reality shows, talent shows, like The Voice or X Factor, game shows, like El Desafío, and soap operas are the most popular programs that we thought that are available in our country. And sport programs focused on soccer mainly.
That's true.
Which one would like to continue?
Me. There aren't enough programs like this. Documentaries, educational programs for children. That's very important because we are, our generation or the new generation are growing without those kind of programs. So we were discussing about Canal 13, Channel 13. Well, chat shows, murder mysteries, sitcoms, and travel news.
Okay. Jennifer, like points like,
Okay.
About the third question, we choose drama series, quiz shows, weather weather forecast,
weather.
also English education programs. We talk about the some programs about we came to see in channel 13. I remember when I was a child, I I watched the Lions.
Okay.
It was a program. With this program, we can learn a little English.
That's great.
Is more for the for children, but we have to need more programs, more programs about this topic.
Okay, Judy. Very good.
Okay, about the fourth question, I think we agree with the same thing about to have more educational English programs for children, because children to the children is more easier to learn English. Like, well, I have a friend that when she was 5 years old, the aunt only put programs in English. So in this moment, she has a beautiful pronunciation in like the American people, and I love her pronunciation. Pronunciation, yeah. To have less time in news programs. Some of them could last almost 3 hours.
That's right.
Sorry. Well, what happened? The institutional channel should have less restriction on their programming. Sorry, programming. Yeah. And well, and in the news programs, sometimes they say some lies. Yeah, it's lies and mentiras.
Okay.
So it's so horrible to us.
Okay. Well, group number 5, thank you very much. Notice that somehow we have, although we live, let's say, in the same country, we tend to have like a different opinion. Notice that in some parts, it was different from the previous one. And of course, there were certain aspects that were pretty similar, but interesting point of view, guys. Let's have a look now at group number, let's have a look at group number 1. Ana Maria, Angelica, Christian, and Jordan. Who's going to share screen? Group number 1.
I don't
Yes,
know
teacher.
who did the
What
I
did you
shared
decide?
my screen.
Okay. Oh.
Can you see?
Make them sound some a little bit. Okay, that's better. And the types of TV and radio programs in Colombia, there are too many here: are soap operas, reality shows, sport programs, and drug dealers. Well, about drug dealers. And there are not enough about educative cartoons like the Professor Supero, something like that. Survival programs.
I thought the same.
And informative programs. And we didn't have anything like cartoons. I think City TV is still emitting some cartoons, some animations, but are like the only ones. Documentaries and health programs. And the problem with the TV and radio here is they're too related with politics, so change is gonna be a real problem here. Because of that, I mean, there's gonna still be in soap opera and drug dealer programs because there is the best for him.
That's a reality. That gets money. Okay, and the next question. Well, the spelling. Well, I will tell you at the end. Sorry, continue.
I don't know what else. Say.
No. The next question. I guess the next slide. This one.
How would you like to change TV or radio in your country? We would like to change narco programs and change the same soap operas that we always repeat. It will be good to have educational content.
Okay, any topic in particular, guys, when you're talking about educational content, is there anything that you would like to highlight?
Maybe languages. Maybe languages.
Languages and history of country, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, very good. Could you go to the previous slide, please, to tell you about the spelling thing too? Notice now you wrote soup. It's different from soap, okay? Do you remember? In this case, it's sopa.
Yeah, sorry.
So be careful with the spelling, but guys, thank you very much.
Okay.
Let's continue. We have 3 groups left. Let's go with group number 6. We have Luisa, Silvia, and Gilbert. Who's going to share screen?
Me, teacher.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, well, hable,
we conclude that in the same programs are over and over again, like the reality shows, soap operas, talent shows. So there are too many programs like this.
Okay.
Well, and the second question, and there are enough programs like this in Colombia. Bueno, ¿cómo lo digo? Bueno, there are enough programs like documentaries, sitcoms, drama series, educational programs in general. And about the programs we don't have, it is weather forecasts, quiz shows, travel news, entertainment programs, etc. And the last, how would you like to change TV and or radio in your country? We think that currently most programs on television broadcast many soap operas, and it would be good if programs related to science and research were promoted, such as Discovery Human Health, or programs related to nature. For example, on Señal Colombia previously broadcast a program about the Calypso, and it was very interesting.
Calypso, previously broadcasted, so they don't, let's say, have that show anymore in the channel? But I don't know.
I don't know. That when I was a child, I saw that program. I watched that program.
Okay, very good. You were also talking about all the programs that we don't have. Among the options that you have in there, you're talking about entertainment programs. Did you have the time in the group to discuss like the type of entertainment?
Yes, we talking about the Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show.
Okay.
Like that types of programs.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's comedy, games, interviews, musical performance, all in a one program.
Okay.
We conclude that no one of us has been watching TV for a long time.
Yeah, I was thinking about the same. Okay. Guys, thank you very much. Let's go now with group number 2. Andrea, Joely, Natalie, and Stephanie, who's going to share a screen.
My group, yeah? Stephanie?
Group number 2.
It's our group.
Yes. Okay.
¿Empiezo? Sí, por favor. Vale, espera que lo cerres. Ya. Well, we have in too many programs, soap opera and talent shows. We talk about Turkey soap operas.
Yes.
A lot of that, and I think no one like that, but it's okay. And for not enough programs, okay, and talent shows.
Okay.
Like Descarga, La Voz, it's a lot of that, and I think it's too much. For not enough programs, we have cookery programs because only stay MasterChef.
Okay.
It's the only program of cookie here. Science programs, we don't have too many about that, or any, I think. Criminal investigation, it's only El Rastro.
Okay.
Here it's only that program. Education programs, we only have Señal Colombia. So we put in that list. And for not programs, travel shows, nature programs, quiz shows, and sitcoms. For quiz shows, like ¿Quién quiere ser millonario?
Okay.
For travel shows, we don't have. ¿Digo lo último o lo dice alguien más? Dime.
Si quieres lo digo.
Sí, sí, sí.
Well, for the last part, we were talking about the fact that the most popular channels in Colombia only show Turkish soap operas, and lately there are very few common Colombian productions. We remember programs like Mujeres al Límite or Tu Voz Stereo. So
Okay.
for that, we put there should be programs that generate greater interest in the viewer, more Colombian producing, and more stories based on real dramatic events.
Okay. Well, ladies, thank you very much. Well, I was going to ask you precisely that the Colombian productions, like which example did you have in mind? And you already answered that question before I asking it. Well, last but not least, of course, before we move to the next part of our session, we have group number 4, Andres, Daniela, Luisa, and Mayra Pinson. Who's going to share screen? Okay. Well, I see that you are sharing, but I don't hear anyone speaking, just in case.
Okay, I check. So for the first question or first sentence, we shows that there is many soap operas, education programs. Okay, sorry, education programs, a story about prisoners were tell us about their death warrant, and live so many soap operas about drug traffickers.
Well, the first question was like, there are too many of these shows, right? And those are the 4 examples that you, let's say, summarized, right?
Yeah, teacher. So
okay.
there's a Daniela, puedes. Daniela.
Aló, sorry. ¿Qué me estabas diciendo? So what did you what talked? I don't listening. I didn't.
La respuesta de la primera pregunta.
Okay. For us, the common answer was majoring our degree, where degree in the soap operas is the program that more show television, Colombian television.
Colombian television shows more.
Exactly, Colombian television show more. After that, the second, we coincident that we are agreed.
No, sin el ar. We agreed.
We agreed that education programs like Doctor Superó or documentaries.
Okay.
3, we agreed that, well, really is different position, different thought. Yes, so no, it's like a resume.
A summary.
Exactly, summary. And all agree that the last question is violence, narco soap operas, and about soap operas about drug traffickers.
Okay. Something else that you would like to share, guys?
No more.
That's it. Well, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen now. Thanks for sharing your answers. I know that this took more than the expected, but usually we have been doing like only written activities, and I wanna start like also including more speaking because of course, next week we are going to have our speaking exam. Well, guys, let's continue. We don't, let's say, lose track of this topic, talking about TV shows, because at the end of the day, all of you were providing your opinion, like your perspective about those TV shows could be positive or negative. Also, talking about how you feel, let's say, based on the information or the content that those TV shows, let's say, offer to us. On that same line, I want you to have a look at these two pictures. And I want to ask you, based only on what we can see here, if you want to look at the book, that is page 66, 67, actually. It says, what kinds of programs are the people watching? What about the first image that we have in here? What is that?
Sport.
Sports. For program specifically?
A
Tennis.
Tennis match.
Tennis match, very good. And what about the second image? What kind of program that would that one be?
Violence?
Horror.
Maybe a horror film.
Horror.
Horror, murder, criminal documentary.
No. Horror.
Could be horror. Okay.
Include the cat.
Including the cat. That's an interesting thing to analyze as well. Now, guys, based on the image, well, in this case, we can see the two images better. As I was telling you, you want to have a look at them at the book that was, I forget the page, 67. Let's complete the description. Now what it says, the tennis match is very, the women are very, the children are, the film is. Which are the possibilities that we have in here? Terrified and terrifying, exciting and excited. I'm going back to the picture so you can have a look at them, how they are behaving, like their faces, their expressions. I'm going back to the book. How are they feeling? Or what is, let's say, the behavior that they are presenting as well? What can we say about the tennis match?
Exciting.
Exciting.
It's exciting.
Like
very
emotions.
good.
Exciting, yes.
Excited.
Very good. What about the second one? How are
Excited.
the women?
Excited.
Excited.
They are excited. Very good. Remember the second picture. Well, in this case, I can display it better. What can we say about the children? They are
terrified.
Terrified.
They are terrified because the film is
Terrified.
terrifying. Very good. Let's refresh our memory a little bit about this topic. You know that we were talking about adjectives. Usually the most common category is that the words that are used to describe, and that's fine. We have different adjectives. You know, we have important, we have beautiful, we have old, we have young, but there are, let's say, a special group of adjectives that somehow are divided into two categories. We have the first category, and those are the ones that finish in ed. We have to be very careful because when we use these adjectives, it's because we're talking about a feeling or that we're talking about an emotion, okay? Of course, that means that these type of adjectives are assigned to people and also for feeling things, of course, talking about animals as well. That is the first aspect to take into account, feelings and emotions. Also, what happens with feelings and emotions? Remember that they are a temporary thing. We can't say that we have a feeling or an emotion in exactly the same degree forever. It changes. So that is also another aspect to take into account. So because we're talking about feelings and emotions, it is very important that we keep in mind that these are only to be used with people and animals. That means that we can't use them to describe an object or a situation because the objects or the situations, of course, can't feel a thing. Look at this example. I can say that my friend is bored. That is the feeling that the person has for the moment. Maybe talking about a movie or TV show or whatever, but that feeling or that sensation is going to be very, or basically at the end of the day, something that is temporary. Later, the person is going to feel a different thing, happy, sad, whatever. But for the moment, we can say that the person is bored. I can say also that I am confused because of the ed. That's the feeling that I have for the moment. That means that, let's say I don't understand something, right? Maybe later, if someone explains to me the situation, I won't feel confused anymore. So ed will always means, or it is always focused when we're talking about feelings or emotions, and that is why we assign it only to people and also animals, of course. But you already noticed also from the previous exercise that we are talking about adjectives that finish with ing. What is the idea of ing? We're talking about a characteristic. We can also say that ing is, let's say, related to a general description of the person, the animal, or in this case, we can talk about things now. The case of ing goes for both things and living things. For example, I can say that my friend is boring. That means that this characteristic, although negative, is part of the personality of the person. Compared to the previous one, this characteristic, I'm not going to say that it is going to be forever, but definitely is more permanent compared to the feelings and sensations that the adjectives with ed present. I can say also, for example, that I am confusing. That means that I'm causing you confusion, okay? I hope that it is only an example. That this characteristic is part of me. Let's put it like that. So besides all the adjectives that you already know, we have this group that finishes with ed. Remember the connection, feeling and emotions, temporary, only for living things. We have the version with ing. In this case, we're talking about a general description or characteristic. It doesn't matter if it is living things or animals. We can use it because in that case, we can say that also people can have certain characteristics, like in this case, boring and confusing. Okay. From this part, questions, guys?
No, teacher.
Okay. As
No.
usual, the best way to know it is by practicing, of course. We're going to practice through a Kahoot. Let me share my screen and I will send you the email. In this section, we haven't really played Kahoot. I don't remember if we had already done that. There it is. Well, the good thing is that I know that you know. We are more like refreshing our memory, probably just like making sure that you remember the moment when to use these adjectives. But in general, I'm pretty sure that for you, this is not like that new. There are 23 of you. Well, I hope that the connection is really good for all of you. So you can take part of the session. Let me share sound so we can listen to this. Lisa. I'm gonna give you a few seconds. $15 people.
Wait, teacher, wait.
Okay, where were you? Don't worry. Ah, someone put the code. Okay.
Already, thank you.
Welcome.
Teacher, with code, I can change this. I don't know, how can I change that?
I eliminate you and now you can do it again.
Okay. Thank you, teacher. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Okay. So Eli, Andres, Luisa, Aleja, Jimena. Oh no, Natalia. Now it's here as well. 21. There are 2 people missing. And Alcantara said, hello, Luisa. There is Bryant. This is Silvia. Well, 22. I don't know if the person that is missing is actually going to take part of the game. But let's see. Bless you. Read the statement, which is the proper one. Very good. I'm interested in working for a charity when I graduate. Remember, a feeling, you know, that is going to be like the main thing to differentiate one from the other. Is it a feeling or is it a description? Remember that for people, well, not for people, siempre digo people, pero no. For living things, we can use both ed or ing. Lisa, good. Very good. Notice that in this case, we're talking about the class. It's a thing. That is why we only use ing. Jimena, excellent. Excited, very good. That's the feeling that I have because of my mother's job. Risa again, very good. In this case, what is going to be like the deal breaker? Let's call it like that. What you did. Because of this, what that means that we're talking about an action. Again, that means that we're talking about something. That is why we only have this choice, ing, to make sure that we are describing a characteristic in particular. Ay, señora.
But is only this option or maybe both?
No. Because it says what you did, lo que usted hizo. So that means that we are talking about an action. We are not talking about a person or a living thing. That is why we use only ing. Because of the what, it's a thing, not a person.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Harold, very good. Okay, this is interesting. I enjoyed reading a very horror book. That means that the word that we're going to use here is going to give me a description about the book. We're talking about an object. That is why the only possibility is, in this case, entertaining. Okay, interesting. Interesting. I work too much. In this case, what I'm describing is the action, talking about working, you know. Once again, it's not a living thing. I'm not describing myself. I'm describing the action of working. That is why I have to use ing. Well, we will continue practicing, guys. Don't worry. Okay. Harold, very good. Okay. We're talking about the experience. Notice that the statement begins with it. It's a thing. So goes with it. Okay. Harold is still in first place. Brian is just right there. It is. Well, it is improving. Again, notice. When we see it, it's an object, ing. That's it. In other cases, of course, the analysis requires a little of extra seconds, you know. Number 9. So it's a feeling or a description. I was surprised. Very good. That's the feeling that I had. Ryan, okay. Number 10 out of 15. I felt embarrassed. Quizás por la hora, but probably you didn't notice the spelling mistake on the red one. Careful with those things. But in general, like in your heart, the ones that shows the red one, you were right because it shows ed, but careful with the spelling. Iba con cascarita. Angélica, very good. Sí, creo que es la hora. Great, very good. Reception. Very good. Very good, Angelica. Let's see. 3 to finish. We are pleased. Very good. That's the feeling. Okay. Well, I hope that you notice the spelling as well. Very good. Final question. Let's see.
Yes, I am.
No way. Confused. That's the one. Careful with the spelling. Again, I think that you're quite tired, you know, that's the reason why you're choosing the other one. Once again, I think that in your heart you had the correct answer, but careful with the spelling. Okay. Let's see how it finished. Diana, very good. 3rd place. Harold on 2nd place. Angelica, very good. Let's see the runners-up, Brian and Sylvia as well. Well, as usual, like in every single language, that happens not only in English. Okay, let me stop the music. There will always be different tricky things. In terms, not only because of the spelling, that was just like, let's say, a spicy thing to put in the Kahoot, but we gotta be really careful on what we want to say. Once again, am I talking about just the description of a characteristic, or am I talking about a feeling? And remember, if we are talking about feelings, that is only assigned to living things. Okay? Well, guys, remember that, of course, we will continue working on this topic. Eventually, when we have the review of Unit 7, we will refresh this information once again. Guys, I was telling you at the beginning of the session that one of the things that we need to, let's say, start deciding today, I'm not telling you that you have to tell me tonight, is about the people you will be working with during the speaking part. I know that you may consider that I'm being kind of, I don't know, dramatic, telling you that we have to make that decision from now, but the idea is that you are, let's say, as much organized as possible. You know, I know that you are really busy. Of course, there are different assignments that you have to make. You're working, life, university, family, mental health, whatever. So let's organize our ideas. The thing about the groups, don't worry. Anyway, if you're the first group, that means that next Friday you finish early and then you don't have to wait until 10 p.m. Remember, probably you already know some of your classmates and you know the person you want to be working with. In some cases, you don't know anybody and maybe you just like are going to wait, I don't know, to faith help you. That's okay. I repeat, now like that everybody's here. Remember that the grade is individual. The idea of working in groups is to make sure that everybody has that component of communication. Am I missing a number in here? Because now you're 23, you're not 21 anymore. Let me make the adjustment. Yes, John, tell me.
Teacher, I'm sorry, I got lost. This document is to upload the names of the person that we are working with next Friday in the final exam.
Yes, and that's the idea.
So the group is 3 people.
Yes.
Right? Okay, thank you.
There will be one that is going to be in pairs because this group has 23 participants. So 7 groups of 3. Yes. And group number 8 is going to be in pairs, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So yeah, if you don't know, don't worry. Let me refresh your memory a little bit. Not like to refresh necessarily, but also like to let know the new participants how we're going to do this part. Give me a second. Of course, it's not going to be exactly the same, but just to give you like a general idea of what to expect on that day. Acá, este sí es. If you remember, well, this was the, let's say, the presentation that I shared with you. This was from the previous cycle. As I was telling you, I'm not going to show you today how the speaking is going to be in terms of what I'm going to ask you. Remember that one part is going to be individually. I will have a set of questions related to the different topics that we are studying in this section that, let's say, covers from Unit 5 to Unit 8, right? And this part is going to be up to 40 seconds, okay? I'm going to use the timer to make sure that you take the 40 seconds. When the 40 seconds are up, I tell you, thank you very much. Let's move to the other question. Then on the second part, as I was telling you, is going to be collaboratively. Remember, these are the examples from the previous cycle. No quiero que piensen que ya les estoy mostrando porque evidentemente no tiene que ver. The idea, guys, is that in your groups, you're going to create a conversation. I'm going to assign you the situation. Of course, the situations are let's see, waiting for you until next week. When you make the conversation should take a maximum of 2 minutes. That means that you have to edit a lot. You have to agree with your classmates in order to, let's say, fulfill the task that is being required in those 2 minutes. When the time's up, I tell you, thank you very much. If maybe you took more time than they expected and one person didn't speak, that is your responsibility, guys, because then that person is going to fail. I'm telling you this like not to alarm you, or I don't want to threaten you. That's not my point, of course, but it's just like to make you aware of that. And then you start thinking like, okay, at that point, when we get the information to do that part, we have to be very precise with time. As you can imagine, well, when I'm going to take, of course, this example. Group number 1, they present their part, their individual part, and the spoken part. Goodbye. That means that you are free next Friday earlier. So keep that also in mind. Okay. I don't know if you have any questions for the moment. Maybe there is something that we can, let's say, discuss now, and also for me to have it in mind. So next Friday, everything is as organized as possible. Tell me. Mayra, Plata, tell me.
Teacher, I'm sorry, I don't remember if the next Friday it's only speaking or speaking and something else.
Well, it's going to be the whole thing. In the first part with Laura, you're going to have the written part. I'm sure that she will eventually explain the steps of the exam. Then you have the mini break. I hope that actually you have the time for the break. And then on the second part, I take part of the session. And then we will have the speaking part. But next Friday, it's the whole thing. Let's say the written part, when I say written, is reading, listening, writing, and grammar and vocabulary. And then the second part is speaking.
Okay, so the exam like writing, reading, I think it's in the first 2 hours.
Yes.
And we will finish this level.
11?
The level, I mean, the
the level. I thought that at 11. No, Mayra, at 10. 9:50. I mean, not 11, no way. Yeah, we would be finishing on Friday. That Friday, this course has some particularities, let's call them like that. And we don't have like a feedback session, you know. After that, we will have like a couple of days, let's say, off. But those days are for us to prepare some reports that we have to deliver to Gobernación, of course, upload the grades in Sistema Académico, and then when coordination, let's say, decides, we will let you know when we start B.3.
Okay.
This course flies.
Like a speedlight.
Yes. It's very, very great.
Okay, let's see what we have so far. Diana, Mayra, Natalie, group number 1 is set. Andrea, Jolie, and Sylvia on second place. What second place? No, group number 2. Group number 3, Angelica. There was an erased name. Okay, that's okay. And Judy for the moment. Group 4, Ana Maria, Jordan. Let's wait for it. Jennifer, Stephanie, and Harold in 5. Number 6, Christian and Andres. Mayra and Gilbert. Alejandra, John, and Brian. Very good. Well, guys, once again, my intention is that you decide. I'm not going to force you to work with anybody because that's not the point. Again, you decide the person you want to be working with. The grade is individual. And at the end of the day, besides that, the idea that we collaborate with each other. Probably some of you already know each other, like you are friends and stuff. In other cases, you don't really know who that person is. But the good, I mean, like the minimum thing to do is to help the other person in order to make sure that everybody hopefully, like, let's say, passes, not only like having a good grade, but actually that we can learn on each other's learning process. In case that someone is missing or still pending, let's say that you have until Monday. Okay, Monday at 10 p.m. when we have our session number 6, I'm going to stop sharing like the document, and I'm going to say, let's say a name, inventado. If I see that Adriana hasn't chosen a group, I put it, let's say, I wouldn't say like arbitrarily, but that is going to be like that. And I'm going to say, Adriana is going to be in group number 6, whether you like it or not. Okay, 2 people raise their hands. I'm going to start with Mayra Plata. Or that was from the previous question that you already made, Mayra. Oh, this is a new one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have any question.
Okay, I saw your hand
Okay.
raised. So
No,
Luis,
that was a question that I already did.
Okay. So Luisa, tell me.
Teacher, can you show again the activity 2, the speaking 2?
Luisa, but no, that was an example, like to let you know how activity
Okay.
works. That was like the, let's say those were the topics that I use in B.1, just like to give you like a general idea. I will show you that next week.
Teacher, and other thing, someone is erasing my name. I don't know why.
¿Cómo
I
así?
read them, but yeah, I read my name with Angelica and Judy, and someone erased it. I don't know why.
So you're Luisa Pérez.
Sí,
Right?
profe. No, es Luisa Fernanda
Paredes.
Paredes. Yo también he puesto un nombre como 2 veces y también me lo han borrado.
No me pongan a mirar los correos, porque aunque dice, digamos, hipopótamo anónimo, pues ahí sale el correo correspondiente, ¿no? Valga la aclaración. Entonces, no nos pongamos de chistositos. Angélica y Judy Lisset, Luisa Fernanda Pérez. Sí, no me quiero equivocar.
Paredes.
Paredes. ¿Y quién más?
Ya me puse otra vez, profe, en el cuarto.
Listo. Bueno, tú sí eres Luisa Fernanda Pérez.
Sí, profe.
Acá. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to take a screenshot from this part. That's the way it is. La voy a guardar. Well, I don't think that I have to say this, but well, we are about to finish. Imposible que se pongan a borrar los nombres, o sea. You are not teenagers, I assume that.
Sí, no, eso es ser muy infantil, la verdad.
Pero creo que ya estamos todos. Sí, porque solo un espacio iba a quedar en blanco. Como les contaba, somos 23. Perfecto. No hay más que hacer acá. Editor, lector. Hecho. Sí, ya está. Igual lo voy a guardar. Ya le cambié el setting, ya no los quiero retener más. Llegado al caso, si ustedes deciden cambiar, me avisan el lunes y ya los grupos como quedan el lunes, esos son los que son. ¿Listo? Guys, don't forget to work on the virtual campus. Remember that you have to still work on your project. Of course, that is something that you will do on the first part of the session on class number 8 with Laura. Guys, as usual, thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye,
Take care,
teacher.
everybody.
Bye.